lectures for TVET. There is a difference between a traditional lecture and an interactive lecture. The former looks like a one-way traffic on a not-so-busy street with students watching as bystanders as the lecturer drives by with their information. Hence, students have little opportunity for questions and answers, let alone a summation of their understanding. The latter is two-way traffic with lots of pit stops, traffic lights, U-turns, scenery photo ops, cafe drive-thru, and etc. What I'm trying to say is that an interactive lecture is a very different from a normal lecture. Lecturers and students are both drivers and are making planned stops and reflecting on their teaching and learning as they move along the learning path. In an interactive lecture, students are required to do some amount of preparation before attending classes. Lectures, on the other hand, are required to pre-plan lessons carefully to ensure students are given chances to try out their understanding on the objective of the lecture. There are 3 stages to prepare: pre-lecture, during lecture, and post-lecture. Here is how it should be conducted. Yup, you can talk, but please plan for regular interruptions. So, how do you go about it? Interrupt the class and start an activity. For example, make them recall what the lecture is about. Or try to ask students in pairs to solve a problem taken from the lecture. Or predict what the rest of the lecture is about. Plan for at least 3 interruptions within an hour's class. Each activity may take 5 to 15 minutes to wrap up. Remember, remind students to come prepared before class. That's crucial. Also, remember to give feedback to students' response. That is key to learning. The feedback can be useful to guide teaching decisions. For example, course spacing, quick clarification of small misunderstandings, identification of student interest, and questions. After lecture with interspersed activities, post-lectures can employ activities to reinforce understanding. Popular options are exit ticket. For example, a muddiest point prompt. What was the muddiest point in today's class? Or free writing. Minute paper. On what questions do you still have about today's lecture? Or questions of the day exercise. To sum up the 3 stages, have clear instructions as to how your class will be divided into 3 segments and share that to your class. Each segment has its purposes. Pre-lecture segment is to psych the students to build their expectations. During lecture segment is to embed students in the lecture via activities and feedbacks. And lastly, post-lecture segment is all about reflecting on the lecture and what has been learned. Lastly, please do not confuse a normal lecture from an interactive one. Here are some major differences between normal lecture and interactive lecture. Interactive lecture. First, students have to read lecture notes before class. Second, students are given opportunities via activities to understand the lecture's objective. Third, reflection is key to understanding class inputs. Fourth, lecture time is less than activity time.